This is the plaintiff, Barbara Gilbert. She says she took her 2008 black Acura to the defendants for a paint job. Waited 2 weeks for it to be completed, and when she got her car back, it was blue. That's right, her once black car was painted the wrong color. It's like having your car go in as a four-door and it coming back out as a hatchback. When she called to complain, he gave her a big runaround. Thought she was just going to go away, but they messed with the wrong woman. She's suing for $4,000, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Paul Susie. He says he fixed collision damage on the driver's side of the car. The plaintiff's insurance company paid for him to paint a few panels on the car, but didn't pay for him to blend the paint to give it a uniform look. Hey, he can't pick what insurance a customer has. He was contracted to paint it night black, blue, pearl, and that's just what he did. He's accused of being colorblind.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
See what I did? Okay, Barbara Gilbert,
Yes.
you are suing the auto body company owned by Mr. Susi, who prefers not to have the company named by name, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. For $4,000 in damages that you say you have sustained when they did a paint job. So tell me what's going on.
Yes, my car was hit in October by someone who didn't have car insurance. So I had to take it upon myself and use my own. A friend of mine's offered a paint shop that can be used, which was the paint shop I took it through. He said, you know, my guy is good. I'm a woman. I was looking for a paint shop. So I bought it to...
I'm a woman. I was looking for a paint job. What does your reproductive system have to do with picking a paint shop?
No, that's true, right?
What do you mean? Do you mean to say that you didn't know anything about paint shops? Because I know plenty of men who don't know anything
Your
about
Honor.
paint. All right,
yes, so I took it to the paint shop and I spoke with Paul originally. I gave him the paperwork. I let him know. He said he assured me that he'll do the body work. He'll paint it. No problem. They called me when it was done about 9 days later. I picked the car up around 5 or 6 o'clock.
What kind of car is this?
Acura RL 2008. I picked it up around 5 or 6 o'clock and I spoke with Ben. Ben was the main contact person. I didn't speak with Paul anymore. When I picked it up, it was kind of dull, dark and light dark, so I wasn't able to see the color. So the next day I went and I was looking at it and I said, my car looks blue on one side. This clearly looks blue. This isn't right. So I gave Ben a call. Ben said, bring it up. Ben said, no, Barbara, your car is black. I said, Ben, you can clearly look at the door. Look at the bumper. It's clearly blue.
Who are you talking to at this point?
Ben, which is his worker. Okay. Paul, I didn't see anymore. And I originally spoke with Paul, gave him the work order.
So you're telling Ben,
yes,
and
he's
saying,
like,
who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I pulled off. I said, well, maybe. So I'm looking around. So maybe I'm going crazy. So let me just look from this angle or this angle. Maybe I'll see black. Nothing. Clearly, you can see the blue. Call Ben again. Ben, he give it. Your insurance didn't pay for an extra coat of paint. What does
extra coat of paint?
I don't know what that even means.
About blending? Is this
yes.
what?
Yes,
Yeah, but what that has to do with matching the paint color? I mean,
it's exactly matching the paint color. What happened?
Everything that she said, Your Honor, is absolutely true. The color was off a little bit. We totally admit that. My whole opinion in the situation is that the insurance company should have paid for the blend work.
But what happened? Who was negotiating with the insurance company? You were?
Well, after she made a complaint about it, we called the insurance company to try to get them to pay for the blend work.
Stop. After she made a complaint about it. What about before she made a complaint about it? How many cars do you do paint jobs on and not blend?
Quite a few, Your Honor.
That are insurance pay or that are personal pay and you give me a choice and I just say, do your best job?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Your insurance companies usually pay for blend work.
That's right.
Your average customer that comes in that's paying out of pocket, usually they don't care if it's a little bit off.
I have a question. So the average person who's trying to keep costs down might not care. Did anybody run this by her or she's just some stupid little woman getting a paint job?
No, Your Honor. The agreement between me and Ms. Gilbert was
when I use that phrase.
Was to repair the vehicle as exactly how the insurance company wrote it, which I have the
insurance company's paying. Why doesn't? Let me tell you something. If I was paying premiums to an insurance company, and you then came to me and said your insurance company is penny pinching me, they won't pay for how much does blending cost?
To blend 2 additional panels probably would have been about an extra $250, $300.
I just want to kill myself right now. 200. So, and it was a how many thousands of dollar job?
The total job was about $2,900, $2,800 plus taxes.
A couple thousand. So to say, please,
Sorry. Oh,
hold
sorry.
on.
Okay.
Okay, so to save $250 because they figured she didn't know any better. How is it that you folks don't tell her, hey, your company's penny pinching $250? She picks up the phone and calls her insurance company, says, I'm gonna drop you. I can't believe over $250. We would have had this solved. Why didn't you guys give her that choice?
Well, initially, Your Honor, she wanted to try to do the repair without having to pay her deductible, which I told her we couldn't do because she didn't own the vehicle yet, or it was a lien or a lease. So if she had owned the vehicle, we could have done the repair any way she wanted.
I don't know what you're saying. Why can't you just do what every repair shop has ever done for me? Because I'm a savvy customer. When I went first of all, the issue of blending wouldn't even come up. They just do it. So, and most customers are going to want when they paid their premium, because that's why you pay your premium. She pays her car. You pay your car payment on time. You pay your premium on time.
On time.
Because she expects that when this happens, she's going to have a car that's Is the car here?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go see it right now. But you're admitting that there's a difference. Why can't it be perfect? That's what she paid premiums for. And if it's not going to be perfect, why don't you have an obligation to tell her, listen, it's not perfect because your company, they want her to save $250, which is maybe like lunch a few days on their expense account. It's really angering me.
Well, we did tell her.
When afterwards?
Yes, that we would absolutely.
Why didn't you tell before?
Because we were doing it as the insurance. No, not at all, Your Honor.
I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel if I was at your counter, you'd be afraid.
No.
You'd have treated me with if my husband was at your counter, you'd be petrified. But if I was at your counter and I was asking a bunch of questions and I was a savvy consumer and I was, you might say, I don't want a problem with this lady. Let me tell her what's going on. But you looked at her and you just figured that, she'd take it.
That's not.
You got that kind of face.
That's not how the.
Let's go look at the car. I want to go look at the car.
All rise.
You admit that. You've already admitted earlier that one part looks much bluer than the other part. My question to you is it the same paint?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what is it, the age?
When the manufacturers paint cars, they paint probably 1,500, 2,000 cars at a time. So they make a batch of paint to paint all those 2,000 cars. When the next 2,000 cars need to be painted, sometimes or numerous times they make errors and they cause alternate colors of that same paint coat.
I don't know why everything is so complicated. Why can't you just paint it so it looks right?
Well, that is.
And so here's the thing, because see, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. I'm not understanding why this happened. I look at the adjuster's adjustment and it says refinish a car. It doesn't say anything about, but no blending. Where do you have the proof that the insurance company told you to cut a corner?
Because they didn't write it in their appraisal, in their write-up. When you're doing an insurance...
I don't understand. Look, put yourself in her shoes for a second, okay? And she's somebody who pays her premiums on time, pays her car payment on time, and then picks a company to go do the body work. Would you have accepted this work?
We accept the work all the time.
Would you have accepted this work on your car?
No, Your Honor, I would have.
Of course you wouldn't have.
I would have done the
So
same
why
exact
would
thing.
she have to accept it? You got paid. I understand you did a bunch of body work. It's not just the paint. But you got paid $3,000 for this job, and the job should have been done correctly, which includes blending. And if it wasn't, it's a simple solution. You stop and you say, hey, lady, listen, somebody's telling me, hey, cut a corner, no blending. I don't know what that means. Do you understand the headache you have bought yourself over saving yourself $250 worth of work? This is insanity. Because, and I can't think of any reason why someone with connected brain cells, and you have to have connected brain cells, you're running a business, would do this other than you figured you'd get away with it and she wouldn't complain. Because you had to have looked at it and said, oh my God, I can't let this walk out with my name on it. I went out there and I'm looking at it and I can't believe it. No. No. All right, let's figure this out. Now tell me, where do you get your figures? You want them to pay $4,000. Of course, that's not what it costs to blend.
No. I get my figures. First of all, I asked them. They told me that, once they went back and forth with the insurance yelled at them. They did call over and say, you know what? Come on, guy. This is clearly blue. Give her the,
the insurance company got involved after the blue-black thing?
It was a whole
And then what happened?
They finally, he said, the insurance company, my guy called me back on Tuesday and said, Ben is going to call you Thursday. Ben didn't call me.
Wait, they were going to do it at their own expense?
They were gonna, he said they were gonna repaint it for me after the runaround.
You were gonna blend it after the fact at your own expense. By the way,
Yes.
can that even be done? You can blend after the fact, or you have to paint again?
I would have had to repaint all the panels and then blend all the adjacent panels, and we said that
So
we'd
in
do
other words,
that
you can't
at
blend
no
after the
charge.
fact. You have to blend during the fact, so you got to just repaint.
Yes, Your
Repaint
Honor.
it.
Okay, so you were going to paint the car at your expense, so everybody was going to be happy because you were going to paint it right this time and it was going to blend. And then what happened?
Then I got some information that she wanted to go through the courts about it.
But why? Actually, before you're skipping a part, right? Like she wanted a rental car.
Oh, yes, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
So what really made the negotiations break down is she wanted a rental car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, had you gotten a rental car for the time that they had the car?
Yes, I did. My insurance paid for it. They had the car for 9 days. Why shouldn't I be in a rental car when I got to go to work? I got to get the boys from school. This is what the insurance paid for. And if it's your fault, I think you should put me in a rental car while you're repainting the car.
And
I'm
they thought
supposed
you
to
were a
walk
stupid
around.
little
So
woman.
Paul said, you know what? I can get you in Monday. I can probably get you in the morning
Go, girl.
and get you out
Don't
in
you
the
stop.
evening.
Don't you breathe. Just
you
keep
know?
talking.
And I'm like, in the evening, you're going to paint my car in one day? I said, no, I'll call you back. And I never called them. They didn't call me back, Judge Millian. They didn't call me back one time and say.
Call me Marilyn.
Judge Maryland, they didn't call
No,
me
don't call me.
back. Your Honor, 'cause
Yeah,
you deserve
that's
it.
that.
They didn't
I'll
call
take
me-
that or Your
they
Highness
didn't call
or
me back one
Judge or-
time.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, does this defendant have a duty to tell the plaintiff, hey, by the way, the insurance company says I don't have to make your car uniform and paint?
Absolutely, I think so. Been through the same thing actually with an older car I had. Painted the door different color red. I was pissed.
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be totally pissed.
You ain't kidding, I'd be pissed. I would be very angry and I would call the insurance company and say, what the hell was that all
Do
about?
they have a duty to tell you, hey, the insurance company says I can make your car different colors?
Yes, I think they do because they're paying for the insurance, so I think they need to inform them.
Well, that's a fair point, that you pay for the insurance. You're the boss going inside the courtroom.
They didn't call me back at one time with Paul. Hey, Barbara, what's going on? Are you going to let us paint it? Because I remember I told them I was going to call them back when they said they weren't. Paul is not going to pay for a rental car, Barbara.
Did you go to another place to find out what it would cost to get it painted properly?
No, I went to another place, but he didn't want to get involved because I told him it's a civil. But as far as paperwork, and I asked him for an invoice, like a copy of what it's going to cost to
You're
paint.
suing for pain and suffering? You're suing for $1,500 for pain and suffering?
Well, emotional distress, definitely, Your Honor. It's been a nightmare, though.
Why
it
is
really?
I mean, I know it's a nightmare.
The
but what-
run around and everything. I feel like it just took
Show
a
me
toll
the estimate
on me.
for the rental car.
Yes, I do have it. It just took a toll on me.
You've taken a toll
That's
on me.
mid-size and full size.
All right. I'm looking at the amount of labor that was estimated by the adjuster. I'm looking at what I think a car rental should cost you.
Okay.
I'm estimating these things.
Okay.
I'm certainly not going to award you pain and suffering on a breach of contract case like this.
Okay.
Silly. And you threw in everything but the kitchen sink in here to get you to $4,000. Like, he's got to pay my deductible now too. Well, why? You were always supposed to pay your deductible. The idea behind court is to make you whole. Repainting this car blended in the form that is normal is the kind of thing that will put you in a position to be made whole. That is how you're made whole, not by having a patch job with spit and chewing gum and a Band-Aid, but with, having something that actually looks like one color, which is what you expected.
Exactly.
So that's your measure of damages, not this crazy $4,000 figure. So I'm going to estimate based on the stuff I do have in front of me, since you didn't bring me what I really need. And I find that estimate to be $1,500. And I'm ordering the defendant to refund you $1,500 so that you can get that done somewhere else since you've lost faith in
Thank
them.
you, Your
That's
Honor.
my verdict.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect.
And so the plaintiff collects not everything she sued for, but quite a bit. What, not your finest hour on the work there?
No, we try to make everyone happy, but I guess you can't please everybody.
Next time, might you call in advance and explain to the customer, hey, this is not going to come out exactly the same color because they didn't pay for blending insurance?
No, next time we won't take the job if there's no blends.
Yeah, okay, good. You don't think you could talk as fast as she was talking in there, do you?
No,
You can't
definitely-
match that.
definitely
All right.
not.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Head right down there. All right, so
Thanks, Fred.
here she comes. You didn't get everything you sued. You still have anything left to say?
No, I had a mouthful, but I got majority, and I'm totally satisfied. Next time, just treat customers how they would treat you when they send over a check. Give them the customer service that they deserve. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Don't mess with me.
Harvey?
I mean, look, the lesson here is that when you sue and somebody damages you, you have a right to be made whole. You do not have a right to a windfall. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.